Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about another crazy story coming from none other than CNN, the worst and most biased left-wing news outlet out there today. They're terrible. We know they've been doing very awful fake news reporting for many years now, and today is really no different. Today we're talking about one specific host from there named S.E. Cupp, and she's a supposed conservative. She's kind of one of the token conservatives on their network. And she's also one of those ones that's not really conservative. They call them rhinos. That's Republican in name only. And that's because they get brought on to shows like this just to try to feign unbiasedness. They try to pretend that CNN is not totally left-wing by having a few cons on it. SE is one of them, but she's also been shown to be very awful herself. She's an anti-Trumper suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, and it's just been really bad to watch her kind of melt down this week. She had a run-in with Trump because she called him out for talking about the Obamagate stuff. Obamagate's been unfurling recently. We've been getting new memos and stuff being leaked about Obama possibly spying on Trump. People are asking for an investigation about that. Also about how they illegally unmasked Michael Flynn, revealed his identity. This has all been breaking in the news, but the left-wingers want to pretend it's not happening. They want to pretend there's no crime there. They want to act like it's a hoax. They're trying to bring out their tinfoil hat claims, and S.E. Cupp is one to do that too. She might claim to be a conservative, but she's just as biased as the rest of them, and this article has more details about the story because it really kind of backfired on her really bad. Twitchy has a report saying, "Sit down, S.E. Cupp's dig at Trump's mental health over Obamagate results in the backfire to end all backfires." So she called out Trump for talking about Obamagate, and it backfired on her. And I think we can already see where this is going. So let's read on and see what happens. S.E. Cupp is on a roll lately and not in a good way. Over the weekend, she voiced her displeasure with adult Americans daring to do something adult Americans like to do during a Memorial Day weekend. And then last night, she decided to pick on the mental wellness of Trump. We're fairly certain someone so TDS infected has zero room to talk about the mental well-being of anyone else. Yeah, that's insanely true. I mean, everyone at CNN is pretty much crazy. Trump is the sane one here. Trump is the one doing well. He's acting professionally. He's taking care of business, doing the press conferences, saving our country, protecting us, and making America great again. So I don't know why someone like this would go after him. She's just some silly TV show host, doesn't know what she's talking about, wears big rimmed glasses all the time to try and look cool. She's not the one to listen to. And as you'll see as this unfurls, it's showing that she's a very big hypocrite too. Her first tweet about this says, "This is obsessive, delusional, unhealthy behavior. He's fixated on something that is not real. The president is not well." This is after the president tweeted Obamagate, and as we mentioned, there's lots of details coming out about this. It's not fully proven or tried or effective yet, but there's leaks, there's talk about how they unmasked Flynn, they knew who he wasn't coming from the intelligence community. We have memos where people in the staff knew that there was no collusion, but they pretended in the public they did anyway. We have proof that that Steele dossier was fake just to get FISA warrants so they could tap the president. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of concrete stuff. Now, whether or not it's going to kind of convict or bring someone to trial or something, we don't know how far it's going to go yet, but there's definitely cause to be alarmed, to be concerned, to look into it. But S.E. Cupp says it's not real. She says it's delusional, obsessive. This is just basically calling the president a tinfoil hat wearer. They're saying he's a conspiracy theorist, but he's not. That's just what the leftists do when there's something possibly significant. They try to pretend it was all made up and just a scam. They want to act like it was some kind of conspiracy, some kind of made up thing, but it's just not true. It's very contradicting for a CNN person to say this too, considering the fact that they've been pushing fake news forever, specifically something that is very similar to the Obamagate stuff, except this thing, this Russia collusion thing I'm about to get to, it was fake. It never happened. There was no proof of it. It was just something propped up by reporters who, like S.E. Cupp, she propped up fake news Russia collusion nonsense, and now she's calling out Trump for bringing up Obamagate, which has lots of proof to it. Totally insane. Here they say, except it is very real. What's not real is the idea that CNN is actual news. And then Zelda here says, you sided with the rest of the dumbass media about Covington, I'd sit down. So that was an instance where CNN specifically went after some teenagers who were wearing MAGA hats. They got attacked by all the mainstream media. They got to file. This guy had to go to court. CNN actually had to pay out a ton of money to those Covington kids, like because they defamed them. They slammed their names. They couldn't go out in public. They were attacked. People thought they were racist when they're not. So CNN was behind that very fake news story, and so is S.E. Cupp. So I don't get how she has room to talk. She works for the biggest fake news channel in the world. And this is just the beginning. There's another story. We're going to get to Russia collusion. As I said, this Battle Swarm tweet says, the Russia collusion fantasy was not real. Obamagate, in which a presidential administration used the national security apparatus to spy on a political rival and incoming president, is quite real. So they have some evidence in this link about Obamagate. Russia collusion was never proved. I mean, Russia collusion is the real fake story. This is what CNN pushed. All the major outlets, MSNBC, Rachel Maddow was like crying on TV, talking about it every night. She's the real tinfoil hat person. They're the real people who deserve to be, running their own websites from their basement. I mean, I'm not saying anyone should get fired. If CNN wants to put these crazy people on the air, that's their right. But I'm saying if in a real world, in a fair world, they would be relegated to places where these crazy tinfoil hat wearers go. They would be in their basement making stuff up about Trump, making stuff up about Russia collusion that never came to be. Again, we talked about Russia collusion for years. There was a Mueller report that investigated it. No charges were brought up. Impeachment was attempted anyway. That failed. I mean, Trump got through all of that. He didn't commit any crimes. Russia collusion was fake news. And now they want to act like the real story, the real conspiracy, the real sort of corruption in the presidency, Obamagate, they want to pretend that's nothing and it didn't happen when it really did. And I think we all know it, and it's more obvious now than ever. Which says something that is not real was the Trump-Russia investigation perpetuated by a group of seditious Obamanite conspirators to overthrow the president. Obamagate is very real. If you were an actual journalist, you'd understand that, but you're just a grifter. That's a good point. Something in the water at CNN has to be not real. You mean the Russia? More talk about Russia. It's real and it's not going away. And there's not a damn thing any of you, of all people, can do about it. Well, if that ain't, then the pot calling the kettle black. That's a good one. Obamagate is far more real than Russia collusion ever was. That's true. Self-awareness, what is it? Pretty sure no one at CNN could tell us. The evidence is extensive and documented under oath. There's people lying under oath, and then they had memos released showing they said different things publicly. They knew there was no evidence for collusion. That was the thing. And multiple people had that proven. I think it was like Tapper and Comey and someone else. They privately spoke about not having evidence, and then publicly they pretended that existed. They pretended collusion was real. People like the Democratic politician Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff said that he had proof for so many times. It never came out. They were just trying to fake news this thing. They tried to lie, make something up. If they spread it around enough, it could just defame the president, even though it wasn't real. But this Obamagate, this is real. We're talking about real facts, real recorded conversations, real information coming out. So it really doesn't compare, and it just goes to show the integrity and the sort of kinds of journalism we're talking about here. This is not a real journalist. The CNN people, they're not serious people. S.E. Cupp is just some chick with glasses, doesn't know what she's talking about. She just is the token Republican for the CNN people. Let's see here. We got, hey, nice try, female version of Brian Stelter. So nice little dig at the end, calling S.E. Cupp the female version of Brian Stelter. I think that makes a lot of sense. And here you can see S.E. Cupp's Twitter for a moment. She's got a Seinfeld background, kind of disgraceful to that show. Talks about her working at CNN, hosting this awful show. And here's her latest tweets. It says, Trump haunts the dead. Unfortunately, the president has a sick and long pattern of dragging the dead and rhetorically spitting on their families. By me, New York Daily News. So I think we can see where her bias lies. I don't think that's something an average reporter would say about a sitting president. It obviously looks like it's very inflamed, very emotional. This person is angry. She's mad. This is an article about someone she doesn't like. And that's the real problem here. And that's what sucks with a lot of these reporters, is they have this bias. They try to pretend it's not there. And that's a big part of it. It's like they hate the president already. So can you really trust their reporting on him? I mean, you could say the similar thing about me. Like, are you going to trust me because I'm a fan of the president? I obviously voted for him and stuff. Like, are you going to trust a Trump supporter? Maybe not. Maybe you don't want to go with that. Maybe you want someone more in the middle. But at least I'm upfront about it. At least you guys know, like, I'm telling you guys, I'm not a political operative. I'm not a reporter either. I'm just giving you guys commentary, articles. We're talking about the news. This is a community, not a CNN place where she's pretending to be this New York news reporter when really she's just fake. She's fake host. She doesn't talk about the news. This is propaganda pushing. This is her being biased, her hating someone. She's supposedly a conservative, but doesn't support the greatest conservative president of our generation. It doesn't make sense. It just shows she's paid off and she's got CNN in her ear telling her what to say. And here's another post. It says real men wear masks. This is Biden wearing a mask, showing that she's kind of pro-Biden too, which is weird. Not really the best conservative ever. And yeah, Biden, people are propping Biden for wearing a mask over the weekend. Well, dude, he was hidden in a bunker for months. Like, this was his first public appearance in a really long time. And yeah, okay, he had a mask on. But did you also see the clip of video where he could like barely walk? He was like old man walking, like really, really stiff, really, really uncomfortable. No one's going to talk about that in the left-wing media. They're just talking about, oh, he wore a mask. He's a hero. Real men wear masks. Like, no, dude, no. Next door neighbors made this so they could enjoy beer together while social distancing. That's pretty cool, actually. CBS article, Michelle, you used to be sane. This is bashing another conservative. In 18 states, the number of cases is rising. This is Jake Tapper, one of the worst reporters ever, another CNN guy, another fake news peddler. And this is SE kind of trying to spread the fake news that these places that reopen are getting more cases, so we should close them again. Wow, surprise, surprise. The liberals want to close and shut down the country more. They want to crash the economy to try and take over the country by swaying the election in a very deceiving way. I mean, this isn't honest politics. This isn't campaigning and getting people on your side through your ideas, through your speeches and stuff. No, this is them trying to scare people, trying to shut everything down, turn us into this post-apocalyptic society, and just kind of crash the economy so hard that no one will want to vote for the president that was in charge during it, even though really it's the liberals asking for this crash. It's the liberal governors and their leaders that are ruining the states, and they're just going after the states that are reopening. Oh yeah, they had a few new cases when they reopened. Okay, that sucks. I don't want anyone to get sick or die, but that's not a relative thing. This is a misleading title. I mean, there's a lot. They were having really low cases because of the lockdown, so them having a few more after opening up isn't that big a deal, especially if you recognize the numbers. I'm not sure where they're at here, but it could just be 1 or 2 or 5 more. It's not saying anything. It's not saying a relationship, like how many it was. So it's just very dishonest reporting, and this was just a taste of Essie's Twitter feed. I think you guys get the point. She's a terrible actor, a terrible anti-Trump, sort of negative Nancy, bashing the president in a new article, bashing the president and saying he's not mentally fit. Like, why we got to go there again? We know that Trump is sane. We know that he's healthy. Doctors have checked him out. This whole idea is just kind of going towards Trump is crazy. He's a conspiracy theorist, when really he's not. That about wraps things up. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like and comment your thoughts on everything below. Support this channel by subscribing and also hitting the bell for notification if you want to get notified of new videos. Thanks for your time, and until next time, you guys have a great day.